Want to shop Walmart Black Friday deals first? Walmart Plus members get early access to our hottest deals. Join now and get 50% off a 1-year annual membership. Shop Black Friday deals first with Walmart Plus. See terms at walmartplus.com.
This year, Santa's bringing the power of Energizer into his workshop.
Whoa, the Energizer Bunny's got so much power.
Wait, he's powered up all the toys. I think that means we're done for the year.
I love this bunny.
He's the hardest working helper the North Pole has ever seen. And he wants all your gifts to have the power of the #1 longest lasting AA battery. So this holiday season, stock up on Santa's and the elves' favorite battery, Energizer Ultimate Lithium.
Being a marketer's no sweat. You just have to manage dozens of channels, launch hundreds of campaigns, score thousands of leads, and okay, fine, it's a lot of sweat. Unless you have HubSpot's AI-powered marketing tools to help you do all that and more. Get started at HubSpot.com/marketers.
With Uber Reserve, you can book your Uber ride in advance, 90 days in advance. Perfect for all you forward thinkers and planning gurus. Reserve your Uber ride up to 90 days in advance. Uber Reserve. See Uber app for details.
Welcome to the Eagles Checkdown, the fastest under 10-minute Eagles podcast there is, covering news, notes, and opinions right here on the Eagles Pinpool Podcast Network. Eagles Nation, I'm Phil Stifle, your host at Beard of Knowledge, every single morning here with this great quick hitter podcast, talking our Eagles, and it is the final episode of the week as we get set for Sunday Night Football. Eagles, Rams in Los Angeles on, again, like I said, Sunday Night Football. Let's do our final preview, predictions, thoughts, all that. We got to get started first with some injury news, I guess, so to speak. The practice report from Thursday's practice is out and did not participate as expected. Bryce Huff, who was having wrist surgery, but also Devontae Smith was a non-participant, again with a hamstring injury. We're going to touch on that in a second. Jalex Hunt limited, Milton Williams limited with their injuries. Pretty common. Britton Covey, Nakobe Dean, Jalen Hurts, full participants in practice this week. Britton Covey, Devontae Smith linked here in a second. So for the most part, the team is healthy, but there is a big issue with Devontae Smith in my mind. Obviously, this hamstring has been giving him issues. Obviously, he hasn't been as active in the game plans weekly. Britton Covey seems to be trending towards playing on Sunday. Is this a scenario where the Eagles maybe decide with an 8-2 record going up a team they should beat? Will they beat them? I don't know. It's tough. We'll get into that in a second. Is this a position for the Eagles to maybe give Devontae Smith a little bonus rest? He's had a long extended bye, an extra couple days, and he's still not participating in practice as he hasn't been pretty much at all for the last couple weeks. Excuse me. Is this a scenario where they should consider resting Devontae Smith this week? It's going to be, and I'm going to get into it in a minute why, but it's going to be one of those games where they might pass the ball a little bit more than they have been recently. Do we really need to risk a hamstring injury becoming more severe with one of our elite wide receivers? I think with this team and the momentum they're playing, I think it would behoove the Eagles to play the Devontae Smith situation a little cautiously and just give him Sunday night off. Heck, I don't even mind if he doesn't get on the plane and fly out to L.A. Flying can't be good for that hamstring. Britton Covey looks like he will be back. Whether Smith is injured and plays or not, I would expect Britton Covey back out there, whether he's the number 3 wide receiver, Smith is out, or whether he's the number 4, 5 guy, whatever. Britton Covey should be back and especially returning punts, which will protect Cooper DeJean a little bit and not have to have him returning punts anymore. Anyway, Eagles, Rams. How do the Eagles win this game? When looking at the Rams, they are 5-5, but they have won 4 of their last 5 games. The Rams can be beat by passing the football on them. I know we are a running team. I know we have run the ball well, but they are the 21st ranked pass defense in the NFL, 22nd in giving up points. You can score on the Rams and through the air. They have the 18th best rush defense, which isn't good, but it's not bad. It's not as bad as it's been the last couple of weeks. I still think you can run on this Rams defense, but this passing attack of the Eagles against the passing defense of the Rams, although they do create a little bit of turnovers and they have 2 safeties that have a combined 7 interceptions, we should be able to pick them apart. Now, that being said, depends on what Devontae Smith's situation is. Maybe there'll be a game where Johanna Dotson finally has a breakout moment or breakout game. He's had a couple big catches filling in for Smith opposite of A.J. Brown. Or is it just a game where they're just going to zone in and just feed A.J. Brown the ball in the passing game, which obviously it doesn't matter, what the defense tries to do. There's no stopping A.J. Brown. Or will the Eagles continue to rely on their running attack? I want to see a nice balanced attack. I've seen some other content creators out there talking about 300-yard passing game, 4 touchdowns, like big passing output from Jalen Hurts. And Jalen Hurts has played well. He's thrown for over 200 yards the last couple of weeks. He hasn't really turned the ball over in a millennial. So, I do expect them to feature the passing game more. But I don't want them to get out of control because of the Rams defense and just pass. I don't want this to be a 45 pass attempt game to 22 runs or whatever. We know what Jalen Hurts' record is when he throws north of, I think it's 30 times. It's drastic how successful Jalen Hurts is or isn't in those situations. So I want them to stick to what they're doing. I want them to run to set up the pass. I still want early in the game, quick, short passes, slants, out routes to get Jalen Hurts in a groove. Now, if you want to pass a little bit more than recently, that is fine. But I don't need to see a Kellen Moore offense game plan where we see 45 passes. Because if that's the case, my confidence level just goes down a little bit. On defense for the Eagles, the one key thing, and Vic Fangio has spoken about it a few times this week, is obviously we know Sean McVay is the master, is the innovator, is the number one guy in pre-snap motion. And it's going to be very hard or very important for the Eagles and their defense and Vic Fangio to make sure the defensive players stay disciplined, stay with their assignments, stay in lanes, and don't get tricked. I remember a game in 2020 against the Rams. It was a game that Tyler Higbee went off big time. I remember doing a post-game show. It was very early in my podcasting career. And I remember just thinking of how much motion was being done by Sean McVay, but it was a lot of razzle-dazzle and not much substance. It was there just to distract from a very basic offensive game plan. So it's going to be very important for people like Nakobe Dean and Zach Bond to stay disciplined in that middle of the field. It's going to be very important for Chauncey Gardner-Johnson not to bite, Reed Blankenship to bite on the motion. Everyone's going to have to know their assignments even more so than ever before. So how does this game play out? Obviously, the Rams have won 4 out of their last 5 games. Obviously, Cooper Kupp, Puka Nacua, did I get it right this time? I don't know. Are back from injuries. Matthew Stafford's having a solid year. He can get picked off. He has thrown 7 interceptions. Quinion Mitchell, we're still waiting. He's been sacked 21 times on the season. They do not run the ball well with Karen Williams. He's averaging less than 4 yards per carry. So how do they win? The Eagles are 3-point favorites right now based off of ESPN.com. The over-under is set at 48.5. And in my mind, I'm just thinking about the Eagles defense. And I know the dipsy-doos and this and that of Sean McVay and his offense. But Vic Fangio has his defense playing well. And they're averaging since the bye only 12.9 points per game given up. And over the whole course of the year, it's only like 17.9 points per game given up by this Eagles defense. So I see the Eagles defense being able to stay disciplined, stay well. I'm torn on the final score. I'm torn on it a little bit. Right now, I've written down a bunch of scores, but I've zoned in on one. And it's 31-16. And I know a 15-point victory, Sunday Night Football on the road, is not always sounding realistic. But I think our defense can lock them down with 16 points. But I also feel they're going to try to attack the Rams' defense in the air with some big plays to A.J. Brown. Maybe Jahan Dotson. Who knows who else? Maybe Dallas Goedert has a big game if Devontae Smith doesn't play. Or maybe Devontae Smith has a big game and just proves all this points that I'm making about him resting wrong. But I see a 31-16 game. 16 points, how did I come up with that? 2 touchdowns, a missed 2-point conversion. That puts him at 13 and then a field goal. So 16 points is really doable for a team. So 31-16. I had other scores. I had 31-27, 34-28, but I'm like, the Eagles defense isn't going to give up 3-4 touchdowns like that. I had one written down. They lose 27-24. But again, I just don't see our defense giving up more than 20 points on Sunday Night Football. So I'm going to stick to what my initial gut said, 31-16. Eagles win. They don't hit the over-under, but they cover the spread easily. Real quick, before we wrap this show up, it might make me go into a little overtime. Just something here I want to touch on real quick. Eagles Super Bowl 2017, one of their players, Wendell Smallwood, is facing 50 years in prison for defrauding federal COVID-19 programs throughout the years. And it's just something to monitor. We don't know what's going to happen. He's facing wire fraud charges, conspiracy to commit wire fraud charges, conspiracy to fraud the IRS. Wendell Smallwood, Eagles legend, because anybody on that Eagles team is a legend in my mind, facing some serious charges. Keep that in mind, something to monitor as we go along. If he did what he said, I know a lot of people got involved with conspiracies and fraud during that time to take advantage of all the money. I'm perfectly fine with him going away for 50 years if he really did do the crimes that he is being faced here. But with that being said, guys, I'm Phil Stiefel. This is the Eagles Checkdown, the fastest under 10-minute Eagles podcast, covering news, notes, and opinions every Monday through Friday right here on the Eagles Pinpoint Podcast Network. You can find me on Trending in the AM on the STT Sports Network. I always link a copy down in the description. You just copy and paste it, subscribe to my YouTube channel. We do a 90-minute show every single day, taking your thoughts and opinions on the Eagles, Sixers, Flyers, Phillies. You name it, we cover it. We'll probably cover Wendell Smallwood coming up here very soon. But, guys, everybody have a great night, great day, great weekend. Be safe. Go Birds, and bubbles up to y'all.
Hey, it's Kaylee Cuoco for Priceline. Ready to go to your happy place for a happy price? Well, why didn't you say so? Just download the Priceline app right now and save up to 60% on hotels. So whether it's Cousin Kevin's Kazoo Concert in Kansas City, go Kevin, or Becky's Bachelorette Bash in Bermuda, you never have to miss a trip ever again. So download the Priceline app today. Your savings are waiting. Go to your happy place for a happy price with Priceline's Black Friday sale. Save now and travel later with our best deals of the year.
Go to your happy price, Priceline.
Looking for a pickup truck to get just about anything done? Look no further. The Chevy Silverado EV isn't just the most powerful Silverado ever, with next-level towing capability and technology. It also offers game-changing versatility with the available multi-flex midgate and tailgate, which means Silverado EV helps you carry large, bulky, and oddly shaped items up to nearly 11 feet in length. Chevrolet. Together, let's drive. Visit Chevrolet.com to learn more.
Way to eat a tea. You're listening to an ad for PC Game Pass. Want new games on day one like Indiana Jones and the Great Circle? How about living out your Sims life with EA Play? We're talking high-quality PC games all for one low monthly price. We got you. Learn more at xbox.com/PC Game Pass or click the banner. Indiana Jones and the Great Circle available December 9th, 2024. Game catalog varies by region and over time. Okay, that's the ad. You can go back to doing whatever you were doing now.
Blinds.com is kicking off the savings early with Black Friday mega deals all month long. A Blinds.com design expert can help you make the perfect selection on your schedule. We can even handle everything from measure to your whole home installed for just one low cost. With over 25 million windows covered, Blinds.com is the #1 online retailer of custom window coverings. Get up to 45% off site-wide and a free professional measure right now at Blinds.com. Rules and restrictions may apply.